Hey everybody, how you doing? Good morning. This is Geebz, your Decomposer here at the Decomposer Lounge with a Patreon request of a brand new band I have never listened to. And the name of the band is ROLO TOMASSI. And if I didn't say Tomassi or it's Tomassi or something, first time on the band, first time I'm ever saying the band name, give me a little bit of a space for errors, because that's what I'm pretty known for here sometimes when it comes for enunciations. The name of the track that I'm doing is Drip. So before I get to that, though, I just want to say, I did that mini slow burn over the weekend on Periphery. And, well, needless to say, the way I responded to that was kind of the way I responded to it, and it was a great, fantastic listen. But the super cool thing that happened, and it has happened to me in the past from other bands and stuff like that, is when band members come in and they kind of, say a couple of fun things there. And had a great comment from Misha Mansour came in, and he left a fun comment. It was really kind of funny. And also, I want to say Justin Bowen, I believe, also left a comment and was very kind. So for me, that's really kind of fun. I do this to have fun. We have fun together. But when the band members come in, I do get a little, like, not quite fanboy, but I get excited. It's nice to get a response or an aloha or how's it on a video from a band member of any one of these things. It's just fun. It's just like a nice little connection. And for me, it's almost like a little bit of like a nod, like I didn't make a complete fool of myself or something reacting to their track. Anyhow, once again, I want to thank you guys for your support. The links are down below for the cups of coffee, the Patreon. I don't know why I went like this. Why did I go like this? Patreon, top of the inning. For Patreon and all that, so that's down below. Okay, one quick thing about this band. As I was sent the YouTube video, I was getting ready to watch it and rig it up for this, then I realized at the very bottom right, the little burn there says Vivo, and any video for a reactor that has that little Vivo mark there knows it's an automatic block. So I'm on Spotify right now, and so we're doing this. This is ROLO TOMASSI. The name of the song is Drip. All right. I gotta say, look, we're 2.5 or 2 minutes into this, and without a doubt, the emotion that's being relayed to this is first of all, the way it came in. I'm thinking maybe it's the second part of another track, because it didn't come in like an obvious cold start. So if it is, and for the fans out there, I apologize. At first, I didn't, I'm listening to the dark, heavy soundscape they open up with. And for those of you who know, who've been seeing a few of what I do, and I've talked about soundscape. Soundscape doesn't necessarily have a tonal value. It could actually be metallic noises and stuff like that, But this did have a little bit of something that was holding as far as a tone. It's not quite a drone, but had something there. When that snare came in, at first I didn't know what to make about it. And I was sitting there going... And then I realized the name of the song was Drip, so I'm thinking, could that be, in essence, the zip line of the track, which is the da-ba-ba-ba, real straightforward. And it was getting, like, very anxiety lit. Like, I was going, these guys got to be going somewhere. I'm like, where can they be going with this? And, of course, they showed up, and they told me, or they did what they did. Really dark... combination of the guitar and some really intense, it sounds like still some of that digi work behind it, keyboard heaviness behind it, and really straightforward. This isn't anything that's like, a super, I just got through listening to Periphery, which is, all the metered tempo, syncopated insanity that they compose with. This is really super straightforward. And so far, I'm going to say this in a way that I feel like the song is trying to get to me, is kind of this torturous kind of vibe. Now, the vocals, I noticed that the band, I don't know which one is singing the heaviness on this, but it is intense, it is visceral, and it is, the word I'm looking for is, it's like inside out. It's like guts ripping out kind of an energy going on through there. Anyhow, let's go. I love the relief they gave us in production with that move. Because like I said in my first stop, it came on so heavy and so anxiety driven, almost kind of like a, I don't know, I'm looking at the title, the words in my head, kind of like a Chinese water torture, this constant torturing kind of hard, dark start to this track and stuff like that. And it really did get you kind of snapped out to the edge there. Now they glide us in with this. It's almost like as the dose kicks in kind of vibe. Make that out to whatever you want to. But once they open it up and they give us this really kind of pseudo-clean guitar ambiance play, now we have this whole different vocals. So I'm a little, because I don't know of the band, I don't know if she is also the one that handles the heavier, growling, powerful vocal approach that we heard at the beginning. So I'm going to rely on you guys on telling me that. I loved the harmonies on that. It was super, super slick. And the engineering's great. And speaking of the engineering, that I just go back to that, the sound of the snare. The drums are engineered incredible, but the snappiness of the snare. But what I love is like the dynamics of the way the drummer's playing when he goes into those ghost notes that he's got going on. So in my mind, I'm thinking, like, I'm trying to watch to see what the configuration, you know, and that kind of finesse in musicians when they play their instruments and they do their arrangements, to me, is paramount, you know, for dynamics. But this thing just got really nice and wide open and stuff like that. But her voice is absolutely beautiful. That's another thing that I'm learning about this journey. I'm 2 years into this already, is that there's bands out there like this band that will take you on an eclectic journey and expose a little bit of their musicianship, you know, and the depth of it. You know, you heard me ramble on about that with the Periphery reaction that I did. But this is another one of those things. It's like, okay, this is what they're bringing us, but then when I hear them peel this stuff off like they just did, you just go, you know, there's some deeper roots in musicianship that's happening. Jesus, man, that is just soul gouging of a track. And I think, you know, one of the other things that I really, you know, enjoy about, you know, this particular journey that I'm on with this channel is, regardless of the heaviness and the darkness of what it is a composition like this pulls from you, it's almost like when you hear those keyboard arrangements, you know, bands will mix those in different positions, obviously. The mixing of especially here towards the end, of some of the, maybe you saw me go like this or something, it sounded like there was just kind of, you know, like whole note, something that's happening in the background to kind of accentuate the ambient aspect of it, while all this tearing and grinding is going off. And then there was this other kind of slightly arpeggiated, it's not a piano or an electric piano, but let's just say, I don't know, digi-arp or something like that. But it's subtle, and it's there, it's detectable, but it doesn't take away from the grind that it is, that this track is. And so marrying that and mixing and stuff like that, and in composition, is a freaking challenge. And then I just want to circle back to the vocals. You know, it's just amazing. I've been watching videos, and I've come across vocal coaches that talk about how to be able to perform like that, and like that you turn it into a beautiful voice. Now, because I don't know if she's also doing the growling, of course we already know it's unquestionably part of the toolkit of a metal singer, is to have that ability, apparently, to go from here to these beautiful gliding voices, as I've heard in the course of the last 2 years. But this is probably one of the heavier, more darker growl performances that I've heard. Now, there was also, it sounded like you know, quite a bit of doubling going on there and some other effects that were going there. Not effects to make the growl before you come for me. I know, I've said that a few times. People go, how dare you? They've studied years to become... No, I get that. But when it comes to engineering, sometimes to give it width, you might make that performance 2 or 3 times, or send it through a doubler or a harmonizer or something, you know. Not to give it the sizzle, but to give it the thickness and stuff. So this was a super duper pretty damn heavy track. So that's my story and I'm sticking to it. Quite the way to wake up. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed this. Looking forward to your comments. Thank you so much for hanging out like usual. And let's see what I got a bunch of other stuff coming up this week. But I'm back. I'm back full on now. You guys take care. You guys know where all the links are down below. And if you're still here, type in, I'm still here. All right, guys, take care. See ya.